So let's give Alex a big hand.
Howdy.
Howdy.
You know, I never won a rodeo or wore a silver buckle, but I always went out and rode my best and made the ladies chuckle. I never owned a ranch or slept on linen sheep, but I rounded up many a herd beneath the summer heat. You say I'm not a rich man, but I feel that I am, as I sit beside the chuck wagon and eat my eggs and ham. Because I feel that I own the western sky that makes the mountains shine. And all the beauty and the grandeur of the land, I feel that it's mine. Say I'm not a wealthy man, but I'm what I want to be. A cowboy with a heart of gold, living wild and free. Yeah, go ahead, say I'm not a wealthy man, you sallow city sages. But I can tell you this right now, I'll never work for wages. Thank you very much. It's such an honor to be here with such a wonderful group of people in such a beautiful location. And, you know, I'm Alex Colvin, the wealthy cowboy. Some of my rodeo friends and ranchers tell me, Alex, you're just a tenderfoot. So I said, well, okay, then I'll write a few tenderfoot poems to, from the taste that I've had of the beautiful western cowboy life. Because when I was just a lad, we moved up to Montana, and my mom took me out and bought me a pair of cowboy boots and a nice Roy Rogers cowboy hat and a pretty red bandana. Then she took us to her cowboy friend Bob's place to teach us how to ride in the beautiful Montana open space. Now Bob, he's a big granite man with a big western smile, lines and crinkles and a fresh, easy smile. He looks at me and laughs and says, have I got a horse for this boy? You bet. He's as gentle as a lamb, but he's as fast as a jet. He's my best, fastest little quarter horse colt who goes by the name of Lightning Bolt. So he got me up in the saddle and he told me what to say and what I should do to get the horse to obey. But of course, I didn't really listen because I just wanted to be on my way. So I got out on the range and I thought I was doing real good till my brother shot by at a gallop, and then I understood that I really wasn't a cowboy, I was just a young little tenderfoot. Well, my horse, he jolted forward past my brother. I almost went back over the rump. So I just let go of the reins and grabbed onto the saddle horn hump. And I'm sailing along wild and free till all of a sudden I see a big old oak tree with a branch just the level of my head. So I closed my eyes, thought, well, I'll probably be dead. And then in the darkness, I heard another pair of hooves on the sod and a voice that sounded like the mighty voice of God. Whoa, Chuck yelled. And the horse stopped dead. And I went sailing right over his head. Rolled along for a while like a old rock and then just lay there in a state of shock. When I looked up, there's Chuck with a big old grin on his face saying, hey there, boy, I thought you were going to take off into outer space. Well, I got myself up. Nothing broken. Actually, truth be told, I was just embarrassed if the truth were to be spoken. But Chuck, he just laughs. He says, get back on. Well, I looked at him like he was crazy because my confidence was gone. Get back on? He said, of course. You ain't learned to ride till you've been thrown off a horse. Now, there's a lesson there that's stuck in my head that I often think about as I lay in my bed. Because when life knocks you down, you get back up with a scoff. Because you ain't learned to ride till you've been thrown off. Yeah. I can work, that's autobiographical, work a little bit. Now, living in Montana, we got a lot of bears. And I guess probably where you live, there's a bunch of bears too. So a lot of bear stories when I grew up, like when my friend Tim Malloy going out fishing, going along and looking in the water, walking on this log, crossing, looking just to see if there's any fish in there. He didn't see that there was a bear coming up the other side of the log. And the bear didn't see him until all at once at the same moment they looked up and saw each other. And Tim just turned around and hightailed it off, thinking the bear was chasing him. But the bear, he turned around and ran the other way. And it was all caught on 8mm film. You know, remember those old cameras? Anyway, the funnest thing was Ropin Bears. This is a poem by S. Omar Barker. Some of you might know him. He's a great cowboy poet, was the poet laureate of New Mexico, called The Bear Ropin Buckaroo. Ropin' bears, says Uncle Sid, is sure a heap of fun, and a lot more gizzard thrilling than to shoot 'em with a gun. You know, I roped a big old he when I was young and wrong. He must have weighed 500 pounds, and monstrous was his claw. He wandered out upon the flat for cow chip bugs and such, because you know those grubs and worms, they suit a bear like pretzels suit the Dutch. Well, a partner didn't catch him, because a bear can split the breeze, and your pony's got to wiggle if he beats him to the trees. But this old roan I was riding, he was tough and mighty fleet. He overhauled that bar, and my loop was quick and neat. Catched him snug around the neck, and when he hit the end, I could hear the cinches stretching and feel the saddle bend. My pony, he put on the brakes and sure enough plowed the ground. And I was kind of wishing that there were a crowd around to watch a salt like me demonstrate my skill at teaching Master Bruin how to obey my wit and will. Har, old bar, you're a wild and woolly scamp, but I'm the apparatus gonna bring you into camp. Well, first I thought the rope would bust and I would lose him if it should. And then a moment later, I was wishing that it would. That bar, he reared up, popped his teeth. It was like a pistol crack. Then he grabbed the rope, hand over hand, came right up the slack. I let out a squall, took off my hat, tried to swat him in the eyes. But a big old he-bear ain't a critter that it's easy to surprise. My pony tried to quit me, but he had a bear in tow. Sitting in the saddle, he had a load he couldn't throw. So he got straddled the rope, then a log, then a bush, and then the bear. He wallered up on his haunches and pawed the upper air. My rope was anchored to the horn, wouldn't come undone. So those paws and claws and jaws, they nearly had me stunned. See, we fought for hours till I couldn't see no hope. And then the bear finally bit the twine in two, left us on the lope. Yeah, roping bears is sure a heap of fun, and a lot more gizzard thrilling than to shoot him with a gun. This is another poem. I'm actually a fellow who's like pretty religious, and you know, you got a lot of people who appreciate that. Of course, in the logging camps and in the trail herds, you know, sometimes you had a mixture of opinion. You had to keep them in mind, keep people in mind sometimes. This is a poem called Silver Jack by Anonymous. You probably heard of him. You know, I was riding herd back in '81 for a man named Silver Jack. Yep, the same that's now in Jackson and ain't soon expected back. And there's a fella there amongst us by the name of Robert Waite. He was cute, smart, kind of tonguey. I think he was a graduate. He could talk on any subject, from the Bible down to Hoyle. And his words flowed out so easy, just as smooth and slick as oil. Now he's what you call a skeptic. He loved to sit and weave highfalutin words together, talking about what he didn't believe. We're all sitting there one day, sitting on the ground, smoking tobacco, listening to Bob expound. Hell, he says, is just but humbug. And he made it as plain as day that the Bible is all just fables. we allow kind of seem that way. Now, miracles and such were so rank, he just couldn't stand. And as for him we call the Savior, he's just a common man. "You're a liar!" someone cried. "You better take that back." And then everybody started, because it was the words of Silver Jack. He clapped his fists together, stacked his studs, and cried, "'Twas in that thar religion that my mama lived and died. And though I ain't always treated the Lord exactly right, if I hear some chump abuse him, he better eat his words or fight." Well, now Bob, he weren't no coward, so he answered bold and free, "Stack your duds and cut your capers. There ain't no flies on me." So they fit for 40 minutes. And the crowd, they whooped and cheered whenever Jack spit up a tooth or two, or when Bobby lost an ear. Now Jack, he finally got him under, punches him once or twice, and straight away, Bob allows the divinity of Christ. But Jack, he just kept reasoning with him, till the poor cuss let out a yell, and allowed that he'd been mistaken in his views concerning hell. So the fierce encounter ended, and they got it from the ground. Someone pulled the bottle out, kindly passed it all around, and we all drank to Bob's religion in a cheerful sort of way, because the spread of infidelity was checked in camp that day. Okay, I'm just going to end with a short one here about when I was working up in Libby, and that's up near Glacier Park, Libby, Montana. Lake McDonald, those mountains, just so beautiful. And it just fills you with beauty. It's sacred land, sacred to the Kootenai, sacred to the Flathead, sacred to the Salish, sacred to the Blackfoot, sacred to me, because it's just plain sacred land. And then you ride back down to the ranch, feeling so uplifted, and see the kids out playing in the yard and the dog. And I'll tell you, there's a power in the atmosphere. It drives away the clouds for fear they'll melt or burn or disappear. Electrostatic syncopation, all my demons on vacation, prod me as I ride along to sing the world a cowboy song. Yippee-yi-yay! Ah, la la, la la, la la, I just find to feel so holy. Watch the world go roly-poly, twitching, switching, zinging, swinging to the rhythm of my singing. Tail-wagging dogs advancing, freckled, smiling children dancing. Ants are breaking ranks and prancing round and square and helter-skelter. Moles emerging from their shelter. Trees upon their trunks are beating, bees in unison repeating in strange tongues my song of greeting. Yippee-yi-yay! Ah la 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 la! Ah, 'tis fine to feel so holy. Watch the world go roly-poly, twitching, switching, zinging, swinging to the rhythm of my singing. My first little bit. I'll be back later, but right now we are in for a very special treat. We've got one of the best Western performers, multi-talented, multifaceted, good-hearted, joyful. Sourdough Slim was nominated for the last 3 years by the Western Music Association for Best Entertainer of the Year. Yippee! All right. And we've got him here tonight. So let's have a big hand and welcome Sourdough Slim.